Does my hair look awesome? My new haircut?
Mm-hmm.
The girl that cut my hair, dude, was so classic. Recapped 90s rom-coms the entire time she cut my hair.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What was her
with
name?
no prompt from me. I have no idea what her name was. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful. I don't
That's
mean
funny.
to be disrespectful.
I'm
I liked
just
her.
curious if it was the same girl that cut my hair.
Dude, she went through the history of them. And then she pivoted to other Julia Roberts vehicles, thrillers like Sleeping with the Enemy.
That's amazing.
I loved it.
That is amazing.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
She gave good breakdowns.
For good, that's awesome. For for haircut banter, that's about as good as you can hope for.
Right?
Yeah, if you're gonna have to banter, that's good stuff.
I was into it. I think she was surprised.
Yeah, I bet. Especially
Um,
around here, she's probably like,
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid at that time. Those
Yeah.
movies she was talking about were in the
Prime time.
zeitgeist. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
And with that, people, welcome to episode 42 of Soccer Situations. This episode's the answer to everything. Hitchhiker's Guide 42. Didn't want to have to explain the joke on the
Damn
pod,
it.
but Alex looked confused.
Damn it. How did they not get that?
You're good, Alex. You got your righty kid on
It's
today.
embarrassing.
That's looking pretty slick.
Yeah, it's looking nice, feeling nice.
I'm wearing
Cozy.
my jean jacket, which means I didn't have anything cool to wear because my laundry's all
That's
dirty.
fine. That's fine. I'll
Jean
probably
jackets
repeat
are always
this
cool.
several times. This will get repeated a
Well,
lot.
that's the kind of thing you can do that with. It's a warm up. You can literally put it on before any outfit change.
It's true.
And who knows when that outfit
It's true.
change is going to happen.
Yeah, we could always cut this and we could have something new on.
Ay. Let's bring up some theme music and get into it.
All right.
People, this week, the Manchester Derby disappoints the both of us. Snowy conditions disappoint Los Angeles FC. Darwin Nunez disappoints the haters. And Paul Pogba disappoints his mom and everybody else.
Soccer situation.
Yo, welcome. Trying to bring a little more energy to this
We're
one.
back.
I feel like we were a little bit asleep with like the rusty return.
A little
episode.
sleepy episode
Yeah, I do have a weird amount of energy for
for
this
a late
at
night podcast recording.
for old man Todd. You know,
Yeah, it's true. It's like almost bedtime.
right? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling actually a lot better than I was expecting to. I was pretty sleepy all day today.
You opened
I'm
a
feeling good
Gatorade.
now,
You got
though.
some electrolytes in the
Yeah.
blood. And
Yeah, pumping through the system, feeling alive again.
what were you watching in there? I heard you giggling a lot pre-pod.
Oh, I was just watching Doc play Tarkov. It's always funny to me.
That's pretty funny.
He was dominating though. That's why I kind of got lost in it for a minute. I was in a bit of a daze before the pod started because I got lost in an intense Doc fight.
Well,
It's
you
just
got
like-
you were in a daze because you were ripping a bong while you got lost.
Yeah.
In an
Well, I got
intense
lost
star
watching
fight.
Doc fight people in
Let's
Tarkov.
tell the full story here, Alex.
Yeah,
We're trying to be
Yeah.
have some journalistic integrity,
it's good stuff though.
right? Yeah, I mean that's as good an entryway as any into casual
Casual corner.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
pop culture corner. I don't really have a lot going on. I found a new show that I've been marathoning. I'm not going to say it's good. It's a Showtime show.
Mhm.
I started watching it because it has Liev Schreiber on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Who obviously, because he's in Goon, he plays the elder Goon.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go into how awesome he is in that movie. We've probably talked about it already on the pod.
It's possible.
But I was like flipping through, looking for something trashy to watch.
Yeah.
And it's like Ray Donovan is a Hollywood fixer. When the Hollywood's elite have problems, he makes them go away. And I was on board immediately.
Immediately sold.
Yeah, so I've been watching that. It's pretty bad, but there's this actor named Eddie Marsan on it. Eddie Marsan, he's a British actor that is incredible, actually. He's a really good character actor that I fell immediately in love with. He's one of the brothers. He's like an ex-boxer that has Parkinson's. And I did the shake. That wasn't a disrespectful shake. I love this character. I was trying to do the character. I fully Trump did the shake just
That's
then.
hilarious.
But anyway, what else did I want to say about this show? Oh yeah, I like when a show has producers. You can just kind of guess in common with other shows that you like.
Oh,
For
yeah,
instance,
yeah.
this show,
Where they have a clear vibe.
well, I was just going to say multiple actors from Deadwood have just randomly popped up throughout the
yeah.
show. And Deadwood, as you know, is one of my all-time faves.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah, Ian McShane popped up as a villain for a season.
Nice.
Al Swearingen, the best anti-hero of all time, behind possibly only Tony Soprano. I'm not hearing any other contenders. Anyway, Dan Soder dropped a special, too. Back to comedy.
Special.
It was awesome.
Hot special.
I wish I had a joke to quote from it.
Reference. The one that I did enjoy, I'm not going to try and do the joke, but was him talking about Instagram calling your friends out for being horny.
Oh, yeah.
When you're looking at Instagram posts and you see, he's like, 35,000 people have liked this photo.
Yeah. And Kevin,
Yeah,
whatever the
exactly,
name
yeah.
was.
Yeah, amazing. It's like so funny because I think we've all been there.
Oh,
where you're
super
scrolling
funny.
and there's like an ass and you're like, oh, and then you see that one of your friends liked it and you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
classic.
The one I liked really recently, kind of in that vein, but not, was I saw one that was like a horrific accident. You know how we scroll through the reels? Me and Alex like people getting hurt on reels.
Yeah, we send a lot of them back.
And there was
forth.
one that was like a train derailment explosion. I don't know what it was, but
Something crazy.
in that genre. And Mom had liked it.
Classic.
Which
Yep.
I thought was really
Yeah,
funny.
it's funny. She's been getting active on Instagram. I think I've been noticing a lot more liked by Maggie posts.
Oh, really?
On Instagram, yeah.
She's going through. Did she discover the reels
I
yet?
think she's getting into it.
That's cool.
She's learning the gram.
Maybe I'll actually post some reels for the pod this week. I don't know why that's been stressing me out so much.
Yeah. I have no idea how the process of chopping down reels from this, but
You know, the process won't be bad. It's learning the process that's bad,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
yep.
You know?
Definitely does.
Anyway, with that, I will continue to plug our social media. There is going to be new content on social media soon. YouTube. Go and like, subscribe, comment. Apple Podcasts, really, this is a big one. Review. I know one of you has. Thank you, James. It's a really nice review. And I know it sucks that we have to ask this.
Yeah, right.
But for the podcast platforms to even acknowledge our existence, people have to interact with us on there. So
yes.
it helps. Leave a review. 5 stars. It takes 1 second. Type a
Yeah.
nonsense sentence about Alex's outfit.
Just be like,
You know what is cool? Alex rediscovered Mike and Ike's this week.
oh man, Mike and Ike's have changed my world this week.
Yeah.
In a bad way. I've eaten way too many in like the past 48 hours.
And you can feel when you bite into them that they're like the last thing your teeth should have. So many
just
different grains of sugar
sugars,
going on. There's,
Crumbling sugars, there's chewy sugars.
There's meta sugars. There's micro sugars. There's
Oh,
cosmic
boy, are
sugars.
they good, though.
They're so good.
They're way more juicy and tart than I remember them being.
I honestly suspect they might have reformulated them at some point in the past 10 to 15 years.
I feel like I remember them being just way more sugary and less tart and juicy.
I remember them having more of a sort of almost malty, cereal fruit quality kind of, you know,
Interesting.
where it's like a
Muted
round kind of. Yeah.
fruits,
Anyway.
fake fruit or mixture fruit.
We might have done too much time on Mike and Ike Corner.
No, that's important stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
It's very important stuff.
What's your favorite color?
I think the strawberry one.
Pink ones?
Yeah, the
Mine
pink one's
too.
so good.
Yeah, it wasn't at first. I usually go for orange. I'm a big orange
It's
guy.
funny, orange is my least favorite one of the
Oof.
Mike and Ike's.
Might be mine too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't weighed out the rest of the lineup, but I just noticed that pink is my favorite.
I like a lemon. I like a combo. I like a lemon lime, lemon lime combo.
It's all about the combos with all the gummy candies.
Yeah.
That's honestly the first thing I start doing is start arranging combos.
Yeah.
Like I'm a coach figuring out my lines.
I usually grab a handful, and then I look at what I got, and then I start pairing them off to get a
Yeah.
couple together,
And you know what's really funny that I never thought about until this moment? Well, I actually do think about it. I don't know, it lies right on the line between subconscious and not. But I aligned them according to Kool-Aid combo flavors, from the 80s and 90s, when we were kids.
Interesting.
For instance, my all-time favorite Kool-Aid was Purple Saurus Rex, which was grape lemonade. So if any
lemonade.
gummy candies at all have a grape and a lemonade, Those two are getting paired up
Immediately
every time.
getting combined.
Grape lemonade, boom, purple source Rex. Let's go.
I'm
trying to replicate that flavor.
That's a great flavor combo that's not used frequently.
Kool-Aid needs to bring that guy back. He was a funny dinosaur. Everything in the 90s was a funny dinosaur.
Yeah, and everything's coming back right now, so
Yeah.
that's a one to bring back Kool-Aid.
Right? Should we talk about soccer?
I guess so. Get out the Mike and Ike stuff.
We actually have quite a bit to talk about this week, so let's do that.
There is a lot of good
right?
soccer talk.
We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. This episode of Soccer Situations is brought to you by Littlefoot Coffee. I mean, what can I say about Littlefoot Coffee? They're not just friends of the pod, they're family of the pod, quite literally. Alex started Littlefoot years ago after more than a decade of roasting experience, roasting coffee for some of the hottest, most fashionable, and most importantly, tasty specialty coffee roasters in America. My favorite thing about it is that it's just really high-grade coffee without a drop of pretense. You're not going to find a bunch of weird, savory notes that the roaster is passing off as intentional. It's just really sweet, comforting flavors that everybody wants in their coffee. And now, for a limited time only, you can get 15% off at littlefootcoffee.com. Promo code Situations. Once again, you can get 15% off at littlefootcoffee.com using the promo code Situations. Yes, we're back. Refreshed. Both had a little sip of a bev.
Yeah, needed it.
Ready to talk about some big results.
Massive results.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good weekend.
Yeah,
Interesting weekend.
Let's go in the order in which I have them, I guess.
Yeah.
Why not?
Run it down.
Yeah, let's start with the Manchester Derby. Undeniably the headline of the weekend, even if it didn't pan out the way everybody wanted it to. We had Manchester City, the host, 3, United 1. Disappointing.
Disappointing results.
Especially after our boy Rashford ran out and just banged an absolute screamer in about the 7th minute or so.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe, just maybe, it was going to be their day. They were going to squeak out a result.
It did. City did pretty much immediately start to pile on the pressure, but
Yeah,
they
it was a
weren't
pretty
getting like
dominant
ultra
performance.
clear-cut chances. They were getting City chances, which are pretty consistent.
Pretty good chances.
I don't even want to say half chances. They're like 60% chances.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, pepper in the goal pretty well.
Yeah.
Maybe not from the best angles, but always creating danger.
Yeah. When the dam finally broke, when they equalized and then went ahead, it was like... It was disappointing because United did hold on a long time,
Yeah, they held
long
on for a
enough to get
long
our
time.
hopes up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't surprising.
No, it seemed inevitable.
Yeah,
Like it was just like a building inevitability that was just coming. Eventually, they were going to score.
right.
It seemed, yeah. I mean, United didn't have any kind of answer either, really, which is disappointing.
Yeah, that's just it.
There was no pushback after like they took the lead.
In the first 15-20, Bruno was looking so good.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, shit, if Bruno has one of his super games, we might actually have a chance here.
Yeah. Rashford got a banger of a goal. If Bruno could turn something on, little to magic,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Didn't quite pan out. I saw United fans complaining about the deployment of Kobe Mainu.
I don't know enough about him
Well,
or
he's-
his.
I know he's like 17, and it's not healthy to be pinning your hopes on a teenager.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
I don't want to be too critical. United gave it their best.
I mean,
it's-
it was going to be a tall order.
Not to say the same thing that every other football pundit has said this week, but like just the chasm between the two squads is there to see.
It's massive.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That bench, we were talking all last week about Liverpool's bench of children. United's bench wasn't any better.
United's bench
all
looked
kids
rough.
as well. Yeah, plus
was basically
Anthony, who is more useless.
Anthony and Eriksson were like the only two like senior players.
Right?
Yeah, rough
yeah.
times. Rough times for Man United.
I noticed Rashford, we noted he used all of his attack points with that first shot, right?
It's true, we did. He definitely
Had a-
charged up and used them all.
He was clear through on goal like moments after and kind of stumbled over his own feet, headed the ball straight down
Straight
into
down.
his feet as he was trying to sprint. Didn't work.
Yeah, he had a couple moments like that where he probably should have scored
Yeah,
and took a bad touch
Right.
or like a weak shot.
right.
I think he fanned on the ball once.
He completely it was, I think, a half volley to be fair.
It was an awkward
But
height.
Yeah. So In the end, it wasn't as bad as Chris Sutton hilariously predicted.
Oh my God.
Chris Sutton with a straight face predicted 6-1 before the match.
Unbelievably harsh.
That's pretty savage. When was the last time you ever heard of a pundit like literally predicting that in a match of this magnitude? You know?
Honestly, it's really disrespectful. It's kind of funny.
It's a burn.
Because I think everybody knew the reality going into it.
Yeah, but as I said on the day, if you want to make that statement that this is going to be easy, you say 3-0.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, they're going to get their asses handed to them. I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah. 3-0 City. That's the respectful way to say they're going to get their fucking ass whooped.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Anyway.
But, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hilarious and disrespectful.
Yeah, so City move up 1 point behind Liverpool. And since we're in the title race, let's skip down to Arsenal. 1 point behind Liverpool, and I was going to say 1 point ahead of the Arsenal after today. We're recording this on Monday evening, coming off of the Arsenal-Sheffield game. Sheffield hosting Arsenal.
Sheffield hosting Arsenal with a 6-0 thumping.
Yeah. Alex came bursting through the doors on his way home from work.
I pulled into the driveway, and I literally had my phone playing in the cup holder, playing the audio through the thing, and we knocked in the second goal as I was parking, and I came running up the stairs.
What's funny is I had zoned out and didn't realize it had kicked off. Alex came bustling through the studio here, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like fucking what's his face? You reminded me of the guy from Confederacy of Dunces, dude, in the factory floor, just trying to stir up a revolution. Just papers blowing around behind you in your wake, that kind of stuff.
Animals, essentially, it was just animals chasing me around the room.
Yeah, exactly.
Cats,
yes,
cats and dogs everywhere.
I'm sorry, but go ahead, talk about the game.
No, it was. I mean, I guess it's what everybody expected, right? I still, how just as a fan, you always have that little bit of doubt in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to give it to myself. This is the scoreline we should have seen against Sheffield United.
Right.
With the difference between these two teams in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, I never expect it.
You don't want to take it for granted.
Yeah. No, not at all.
We haven't talked about Liverpool yet, but it was a similar situation.
Right.
Didn't work out the same way.
Didn't end up nearly the same scoreline.
Right.
But
yeah.
But no, you got to enjoy it as an Arsenal fan, though, right?
Yeah, I feel like you're starting to get a little cocky about it.
Yeah, no, it's feeling pretty good right now. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, when is the last time we've looked this good?
Alex is like,
that's what it feels like right now. I mean, that was a joy to watch today. It was just it just seemed so easy and effortless.
Yeah.
I've never felt so relaxed watching Arsenal play in a long time.
Yeah, I saw it on your face, Alex.
Yeah, they were really having fun. Ben White with the icing on the cake.
I feel like that era. Yeah. Anyway, no, you're right. I love when a non-common goal scorer, such as a fullback, or someone, maybe a defensive midfielder, steps up and bangs in one, and when you're running up,
when you're having a good
that,
time, when the boys are all having fun,
right?
And he just comes in and bangs one in. Everyone loves it,
right? We scored 5, I think, at White Hart Lane, and I think the 5th was John Flanagan, and he banged it in off the bottom of the bar.
Boys
and I remember
loving
seeing a comment that I'll never forget, a Tottenham fan being like, "Oh, fuck off! Even Flanagan got one." It's so funny,
It's disrespectful.
Let the boys start lining up, just cracking shots.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's great. I mean, it's insane that they're scoring at will right now.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's. I mean, I'm gonna just keep riding the high.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when when we're gonna come crashing down to reality.
Well,
we're a stern 0-0 or 1-0 loss or something.
This title race, dude, as I came neck to neck with or I had a brush with death. What am I trying to say? This weekend.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is one slip up in this race right now with 10 games left or so.
It's over.
And it's done, dude.
Yeah.
It's done. We both still have to play City.
Yeah.
So that one, you could say, is the gimme if there is one that you're going to drop. Aside from that, I think we both have to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, basically the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And we were looking earlier, and Arsenal have some big matches left.
Right.
Big matches.
So do we.
including obviously City.
Yeah, City and Everton for us.
Yeah, Everton's going to be
We
a huge
both have to play Aston Villa.
Yep.
So it's such a good title race. I'm really enjoying it, dude. It's really fun. You know, the City steamroll, just steaming on, is not fun. We rolled our eyes as soon as it happened.
Yeah.
But it keeps the tension up at least.
It does.
You have to think of it as like we're Indiana Jones and they're the boulder. You know, they're not really an enemy that you have to respect in any way.
It's true.
But it still makes it exciting.
It's,
you know,
like you're running from an inevitable doom.
Exactly.
And it's just, it keeps the tension very high.
All right, are we going to get out?
Like, because I mean, it's already
grab the hat.
Every season, it's like, you know, you're racing for the most points possible, and it feels like any game you lose is the end.
Yeah.
But it just now more than ever with City's existence.
Yeah.
It truly is that. If any game you lose, it's over.
No, you're playing Tyson, dude, at Punch Out.
Yeah.
You can't make mistakes.
You make one mistake, you're out cold.
And you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fun, though. You got to say.
Yeah. So let's pivot to the last or the next angle of that trifecta.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. Don't have to talk about the game a lot. We already alluded to it. Was not a great game until the 99th minute of 98 minutes of added time. Forest failed to clear. Alexis McAllister bodies a guy out.
Yep.
Peeks over her shoulder, pivots 180, and chips a lovely lofted
Beautiful
through ball. Not a panicked through ball. He pivots, looks, and just chips the ball over to the far post for Nunez to tip over the keeper.
Yeah.
In the 99th minute, and absolute bedlam ensued. I've really been enjoying, and the dickhead side of me has been enjoying the Forest crowd cams, people with their phones in the crowd, the silence. There's one that's really, really great. It goes in, and it's just silence, and you see a puff of vape smoke go in front of the camera.
Someone just hit that nicotine
Someone's like,
hard.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That's
so funny.
Funny stuff. A late Liverpool win is nothing new. We've talked about it on this pod a lot.
Yeah.
And this young podcast, how many times have we talked about a last-minute Liverpool win?
Every weekend with them.
That's how we do. There was a little bit of controversy. Keeper went down with a head injury. Or Konate did, my bad.
Yeah.
And instead of giving the ball back to Forest, who were in possession at the time, they gave it to Liverpool to kick off in their own box.
Okay.
You know, it's been pointed out that the same mistake went the opposite direction earlier in the match. Tierney was just on one that night, I guess, just with that particular mistake.
Yeah, apparently.
But I'm not having that. It was instrumental in giving Liverpool the game. It happened 2 minutes before the goal.
Yeah.
Go and watch that run of play. The ball is out of play multiple times. You know, it's a different game of football by the time it gets down to the end.
Yeah, that one moment didn't make that happen.
No, there's no way. It's silly. It's lucky. We got that.
Happens.
You know, yeah.
Those little mistakes happen a lot.
Sorry, Forrest. I know it's a kick in the balls. The other little bit of weird thing about the goal was Virgil's fan cam celebration. Did you see that? He snatched a phone out of the crowd and brought it into the huddle for the celebrations.
No, really?
And it turned out it was a sponsored Google Pixel ad. The club posted it as an official ad.
Oh, damn.
So that's a little, people are like, that's sleazy bringing ads into the goal celebrations.
Wow.
But I don't know. The game's gone, bro.
It's funny. That reminds me of we're just watching 30 Rock again for a little bit, plugging like General Electric appliances during the sketches.
Oh, right.
That's like Liverpool's plugging phones during their celebrations.
I mean, there's literally advertisements everywhere you look on the screen. What does it matter?
Yeah.
That's I'm not going to be too butthurt about it. I was like, doesn't feel as good, but also I like that you could tell Virgil didn't make a lot of effort knowing that it was an ad because the footage is horrible. It's just like scrambled, like mixed up.
He literally just did the thing and grabbed it.
He just like grabbed the phone. Yeah, he didn't really go Scorsese
try
with it.
No, that's funny.
But
interesting.
Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about from that Liverpool game is just the overarching run of Kevin Kelleher.
Yeah.
He's been 6 matches in, form. Outstanding, clean sheets left and right, making
good saves.
Huge saves with people through on goal. Really, how many match-saving saves have you seen him make in the past couple weeks?
Yeah, he's made at least 4 or 5 in big moments in games.
Yeah. James has talked some shit. That's why I really wanted to emphasize this. I
That's
think,
hilarious.
You know, we talked about it. He did have a blip.
He did.
James was doom and gloom and declared him over, but That was like a 2-game blip. He was class before, and he has been class.
He looks back on form. Yeah,
he literally looks like baby Allison.
He's been coming out and dominating. He doesn't seem like the biggest guy in the world, but he comes out and punches the ball well. Yeah, he's been really good.
Really quick hands. Yeah, I'm a big fan. We'll see what the new regime does. I'd be astounded if he was still our number 2 next year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Allison's still number 1, then he's gonna want to go somewhere.
That's the only question, and of course, no Liverpool fan wants to hear this. But what are the odds that Allison, with regime change, is just like, time for a new challenge for me too?
You never know.
Mbappe at Real Madrid is a pretty tempting project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who's Madrid's keeper right now?
I think it's Courtois still, right?
Oh, okay. They could use a change over there.
But no, I mean, he's doing just fine.
But no, yeah, you never know.
But that's the only chance, I think, for Kelleher to become our number 1 is if Ali decides it's time to go.
Yeah, if he wants to bail.
Yeah. Let's move on to the double feature I have here, because it's kind of a bottom table, outer Champions League clash double feature, double bill. We had Luton hosting Luton 2, Aston Villa 3. We had an Ollie Watkins double.
Ollie Watkins is on fire.
That's been a thing this year. Luton comeback before a late Luka Dean winner. Huge goal for Aston Villa. And, on the other side of things, Tottenham also had a late comeback, annoyingly.
They
scored 3 goals in the last 15.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Richarlison out for about a month, I think they said, with a hamstring issue. They had goals all around the team there.
They still just banged him in.
Yeah, no problems there. Late wins for both Tottenham and Villa leave United with that derby loss, 11 points adrift of the Champions League spots.
Yeah, not looking good. I think we said it after the game that we were saying, like their best hope is Europa League at this point, right?
I would think so.
I don't think they're still in the hunt for that Champions League spot.
It's going to require a lot of generous donated points from us.
Yeah.
I don't see
Villa
it happening.
Slipping up that bad.
And they themselves turning around their form.
Yeah, it's true. They have a lot of work to do internally.
As we said, it was unlucky they didn't have Højlund. They have a little something going on.
Yeah.
But
not enough to get
there's
a Champions
too many
League
good
spot,
teams
though.
in the league right now for them to get in the Champions League.
You can't
with
be
what
that
they
inconsistent.
Have. Yeah. I'm sorry, you can't just coast into the 4th spot anymore.
No, it's not a given for anyone anymore.
No.
Those Champions League places are going to be a scrap.
Right.
Especially that 4th spot.
Right.
4th place is a trophy.
Should we pop over to the MLS?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. I saw you had a couple funny headlines here.
Yeah, we got an MLS headline in the opening headlines of the show this week. Cherundolo, manager of LAFC, was furious. First of all, he was in Utah. So
Utah.
He was already furious, probably. They're playing Salt Lake, and a goddamn blizzard came down. Did you see it?
I was looking at the images before we started, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
They played in that.
They played in some wild stuff. I think they did postpone it, and then decided to go through with it. They postponed it for lightning first, I think.
Oh, really?
And then I think it snowed the whole time it was postponed, and then they decided to go through with it anyway.
With the snow on the pitch?
Yeah, and these Angelinos were not up for it, dude. They were furious and lost 3-0 to the home side.
I bet
Salt
they were
Lake.
furious.
Dude, Cherundolo did not hold back. The quote I noted here was, "It was one of the worst sporting events I've ever seen in my life." But he said other stuff, too. He was like, this is absolutely pathetic. He called it a sham, yada, yada, yada.
That's insane.
Pretty funny, right?
Yeah, it was brutal. Holy shit, though. I mean, you get his point when you see the images.
Yeah, look, I know this is America.
And we're all about like tough guy sports.
This isn't the NFL with like the tradition of playing at Lambeau.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, there is no tradition of playing like soccer in snow or in like...
Not that much.
Yeah.
No, dude, because you have to play the ball along the ground. It's not the same as football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
American you can't
football.
Pick it up and throw it.
Right.
And carry it.
Right. Anyway, elsewhere in the MLS, there was a Florida Derby. That's a gross thing to think about.
Right?
Yeah. The Glamour Club Inter Miami played hosted Orlando, I think. Or were they away? Anyway, doesn't matter. Absolutely thrashed them.
Destroyed
2 goals
them.
apiece for Suarez and Messi. Messi, once again, doing one of the most disrespectful and hilarious things I've ever seen in the history of the game. Have you seen this?
No, which one are you talking about this time?
Dude, one of his goals, it's like it kind of is falling to him, and he just lets it. He's about 2-3 yards out from goal.
Yeah.
And he is being marked, and he's holding off a defender, and he lets it just trickle down off his chest onto the ground, and he just holds the defender off while it very slowly rolls into the net. He chests it down onto the ground super slowly and lets it roll.
And just lets it roll in.
I think he's literally trolling the league, dude. He's like, I'll be here. I'm not taking this shit seriously.
He's like,
dude.
I'm still going to score, and it's going to be funny.
I mean, it wasn't as funny as him chipping that dude playing injured.
Yeah, the dude that was down.
That blew my mind. That was one of the funniest things.
The
of
fact
all time.
that, that was still one of the best because you see him line it up and look at the guy on the ground and
Yeah.
then chip him.
He goes back out of his way from where I feel like he had a more direct line to goal the other way. He goes back around to go over that guy.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's the best, dude. He's just having a laugh. Absolutely.
I love it. I mean, that's the best thing for the MLS.
Totally.
Messi
I could
just
see-
pure entertaining.
I wonder how long it'll be before someone gets butt hurt and just 2-foots him.
Right?
You know?
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
You love Messi.
Definitely.
I don't
love
care
Messi.
if he's having a laugh.
Yeah. Speaking of which, one of the funny reels that keeps coming up in my feed, have you seen this one? It's like, wrong day to wear this shirt. It's a girl getting in the back of a cab with like a knit full print Leo Messi face.
Yeah, I've seen
And then
that.
she pans the phone around and it's all Ronaldo gear, and the cabbie's just like losing his mind
Just
at her.
furious about it.
Might be staged. I enjoyed it.
Probably, but it's fine.
Right?
Still funny.
Should we go to Bundesliga?
It's the Bundesliga.
Me and Alex accidentally watched some Bundesliga 2 this week.
Yeah.
Because there are so many yo-yo teams over in Germany that we
don't pay close enough attention to
We
it.
recognized 2/3 of Bundesliga 2 clubs, and we didn't realize what we were watching.
Yeah, it's
'Cause it was
Hanover 96 and Dusseldorf, and
Right.
we're like, oh, this is fine. And then like I think it probably took me like 15 minutes to notice the 2 next to the Bundesliga thing up top.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, just a quick pop into the Bundesliga. Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen, 10 points clear at the top, 10 games left.
It's looking good.
They broke some other record about something being unbeaten. Pretty good stuff. I have another note in here, Heidenheim. Have you heard about Heidenheim?
Mm-mm.
Me either. I was looking at the table and I was like, I've literally never heard of that team in my life.
Where are they sitting?
And they're in 11th at the moment. Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah, middle of the table.
Dead center.
Yeah, I threw them in the notes just because it's a team I'd never heard of, dude. And yeah, here we go. They were founded as they are in 2007. They're pretty young.
That's extremely young.
The club has existed as a gymnastics and general sporting club with a football club within it since 1890, I think.
Huh.
But yeah, the club as it is, 2007, they got promoted, or they won the Bundesliga 2 last year. They had been there about 10 years. You know, we don't need to, I'm not going to go into their full history or anything. Don't worry, people. But yeah, it's like a little town east of Stuttgart in the south of Germany. Their stadium's cool, little 15,000 seater. It's surrounded
Tiny
by
little guy.
forests, a lot like Union Berlin's.
Nice.
And yeah, nothing else to say about Heidenheim.
Heidenheim.
Yeah, new football club on my radar.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Especially like 2007. That's
Yeah, they're a baby
That feels
club.
so recent.
Yeah.
Also to be where they're at, impressive.
Yeah.
Like mid-table in the top division.
Right. And that was, I think, what made me Google them, because I was like, oh, do they have money? What's going on here?
Yeah, like, how did they get
sure
there?
don't. Their stadium's shabby as hell.
Yeah.
A small town. It looks to be, I don't know, an hour east of Stuttgart. But
having their moment.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good for them.
Hopefully they make some good money on this.
I'd like
Stay
to
up for a
catch
bit.
one of their matches and see what the deal is.
I'd like to
if
see
they're
that
legit
stadium
up
on
there,
TV.
You know? Yeah.
See how interesting it is.
Are we looking ahead to next
Should
week
we look
already?
ahead? Yeah, we should look ahead next week.
Let's plan ahead. We got some big ones. We don't even really need to go to the notes. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly
true.
what's coming up.
It's true.
I think, we talked about having one potential outlier in the remaining perfection. That must be our schedule. And that's next week for us, Liverpool hosting Manchester City. We are hosting Manchester City. And as everybody knows, that's no, it legit does make a difference.
Makes a massive
You know?
difference. Yeah.
I think
In games this tight.
yeah.
Anfield is a huge advantage.
I would like to do a poll of fans, American fans in particular, and gauge how much they believe in home field advantage.
Yeah.
How much they really believe in it, in its impact, like a tangible impact on the outcome of the match. Yeah. When Liverpool go 65 games unbeaten at Anfield, I think it was 62 wins at Anfield in a row.
It was a lot. It was a lot of wins in a row.
You have to figure.
It has to have something to do with it.
Right?
Yeah. No, it absolutely does. I feel like you can laugh all you want about like managers talking about the energy of the crowd and like trying to do these try and do whatever they can to build energy and atmosphere in a stadium.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference.
Yeah.
The players feel it.
Yeah. If you've played sports, I think the way energy can build, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the more obvious evidence is how mad Jurgen gets when the atmosphere is bad.
Yeah,
he gets
true.
Pissed because he genuinely relies on it.
Yeah, he clearly thinks it's a huge part of your winning at Anfield.
Yeah, he doesn't let him get away with it.
And it'll be massive this weekend.
Yeah, Klopp's kids have been a really big story over the past couple of weeks, getting us through 2 cups and a Premier League game, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was still not a great full team.
That was a messy team against Forest there. Later in the match, Nunez and Szoboszlai came on. The bones started to come back together. Endo's made an appearance. So hopefully we'll have a squad back together.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah, time's ticking with a huge match not far away.
We are battered and bruised. If this is a Rocky movie, I mean, we're definitely Rocky, dude. We're hanging on for dear life. Our eye is swollen like some kind of weird donut.
Yeah.
And
you're going to have to hope for some knockout blow here against City.
The question is this Rocky 1 or is it Rocky 2?
Yep. Which one's it going to end up being?
Yeah. So we'll see. They're tuned up. They're ready to go.
I know feel like they're flying high.
Apollo Creed, but they're tuned up like Drago because we know they're juicing. So
financially.
yeah, they're not Pogba, but we'll get to that in a second here. We almost forgot
about that guy.
But I'm obviously super nervous about it.
Yeah, I would be. Yeah.
Not as confident as I have been in the past. The heydays of Klopp, 17 to 19 for me are the golden years. I was like, bring on City. I could not fucking wait to play them.
Yeah,
you know, and we smacked them around.
You did.
And I loved every second of it. But I'm not counting us out. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but I'm nervous.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the shape of the squads, it says a lot.
Yeah,
and I would be nervous as well.
Right,
because you have no clue. You really don't have a single clue what your team's going to be able to even look like at this point.
Nope. Sure
and
don't.
That's terrifying against a team like City who just seem to be hitting form.
Right. Manchester United get a chance to bounce back against Everton. They're playing City and then Everton, 2 of my favorite games to watch,
Yeah.
Where I can
games
just
just hate.
Full of gleeful hate.
Yeah. Just pure hate. Doesn't matter how it goes.
This is when I don't know who to root for, I'm still flip-flopping on the Everton relegation situation.
Whether you want them to get relegated or not?
Don't want them to get relegated because of the points deduction.
No.
And if I'm being honest, they probably don't deserve to be relegated,
Yeah.
They've played pretty decently.
They've been
under Dyche.
Dyche has kept them.
They've at least
respectable squad.
Built like a foundation.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I want to see these guys suffer all the time. Both these guys.
Yeah.
And United doesn't really have a lot to play for at this point. It's almost like their season's a wrap.
Europa League spots, Todd. They gotta get that Europa League spot.
If Everton take points off of them, their season's a wrap, I think.
I mean, it's not. It's got to be bad. I mean, Ten Hag's got to be in trouble.
I think even Europa League is starting to get out of touch. And do they want the Conference League spot?
I wouldn't.
It's a curse.
At that point, I would let it go.
It's a curse, dude. Yeah, you gotta. It becomes a game of hot potato at that point.
Yeah, who wants it? Who wants that hot potato? That's a mess.
Yeah. But that's a big match. Big match. What has become a big relegation match? Crystal Palace hosting Luton. Palace been falling fast. Luton looking good, but still not quite climbing their way out of it.
Yeah, they've been like looking in good form, but the results have not been there.
They've had a tough run lately.
Yeah.
A tough run of fixtures, I mean.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little run up ahead where they're going to start putting some points on the board.
You could see them picking up enough points to crawl their way out of there.
Yeah. That's a fun one, though. Back to the title race, we have Arsenal hosting Brentford.
Arsenal hosting
You nervous
Brentford.
about that one? Brentford can be a bogey team, but this is at the Emirates.
It's like that sinking feeling in your gut of like I feel like Ivan Toney. I'm like scared of Ivan Toney still.
Yeah.
In the damage he can do.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like this team right now seems pretty impervious to being afraid of anybody, especially at the Emirates.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fairly routine result.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have a lot to worry about there.
Yeah. I mean, their squad is just getting more fit. Shockingly, speaking of your squad being falling apart and kind of struggling to get back to fitness, we just got Thomas Partey back. Fabio Vieira's back. Tomiyasu's almost back. Like, we almost have our full squad back fit again.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're chugging along right now.
That could be great timing, dude.
Until we play some of the big boys, I think I'm feeling pretty confident.
Right. Then on to Sunday, which is epic. We already covered Liverpool, Manchester City. But kicking off the day is Aston Villa hosting Tottenham.
Massive.
That is the epic battle for fourth.
I was going to say speaking of Champions League places, here's the battle.
That, for them, is as big as Liverpool versus City. You know? It's the kind of... Again, it's disrespectful to say they're already just fighting for fourth place.
Yeah.
But that's just the position they're in at the moment. So it's big.
No, massive game. A huge game for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham are 5 points back right now.
Yeah.
This could separate them 8 points back.
It would be a huge statement.
Villa could really put Tottenham in a bad spot with a win.
Yeah.
This is at Villa Park, too.
Again, not quite nail and coffin stuff, but it's getting down.
No,
to
there's
the home
plenty
stretch.
of games left, but it's going to start chipping away quick.
Yeah, dude. Horses are rounding the final bend.
We're at 27 games now.
Moving to Monday, there's a big one.
I saw that.
Chelsea hosting Newcastle. Kind of the battle of the rich idiots.
The battle of whose club is the biggest mess right now.
Right?
I mean,
I tried to think of some kind of decadence analogy, and I got nothing, dude. It's what can you even say about these clubs?
I don't know. They're both baffling to look at.
Super baffling.
And trying to figure out what exactly is going on.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, I think it's more clear, right? Their squad has been so insanely bloated. Pochettino's doing his best to get it wrangled.
Yeah.
But I think what he's finding is there's not as many diamonds in the rough as he thought.
Yeah.
You know?
I think their purchasing decisions weren't exactly like thought out.
Right. Definitely
a lot
not.
of money spent.
Yeah.
But
and I think we need to rewind to what we said a few months ago and with like just what an epic scale of a disaster that Chelsea dressing room was.
Yeah.
And it's obviously really, really easy for them to get frustrated with the lack of progress under Pochettino right now.
Of course.
But he is probably still just sweeping all the rubbish into the center of the room and calling the dumpster to get it picked up.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's still too early in his project to brush him aside. Like, it's such a mess, dude.
It is a disaster.
People are laughing at them now because they've recruited like 7 backroom staff from Brighton. And I think like Bully's that much of a simpleton. He's just like, oh, everyone says Brighton's run the best. Let's just steal all of their people.
Buy all of their talent, all of their players, or not players, but their staff. I mean,
yeah.
like
well, I mean, it remains to be
staff.
seen if that works. It seems a little bit simplistic, you know?
Right? I mean, just like his purchasing of players. He just bought all the players that all the big clubs were going after.
Yeah.
And was like, that'll do it, right?
Yeah. No. Putting all the people doesn't put like the corporate structure in place and the culture in place.
Yeah.
You have to build that. So.
When there's that much toxicity coming from inside the club.
Yeah.
Like those players are unhappy. The staff can't be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. I mean, look at players that they've bought that we know are good.
Yeah.
That are just shells of humans.
Yeah.
On the pitch.
They're just lost. Yeah, they're just lacking direction.
It's
completely.
they're not getting it together this season.
Right.
This season's a wash for them.
Yeah, so
they're not going up, they're not going down.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna just hover there.
Yeah, long story short, I do think that's it. It's still at Chelsea, it's still the fallout of that insane like 40-man squad they built.
The mess they built.
Yeah, they built an NFL squad, and they're still dealing with the fallout of that. Newcastle now, that's more of a mystery a little bit. Like, the talent's there.
It's a combination.
The coach is there.
Injuries have been a problem.
We don't know anything about the ownership, but I think they're turning it around, actually. You know? They've had, like, a couple decent performances.
Yeah.
And
Isak's back fit. That's huge.
They've had big injuries.
They've had massive injuries.
I think we might actually have been like looking too hard for a mysterious reason there, when it's really just they don't have the A-list squad that you like to think they do. You
would think they would, just because they have the money. They haven't really spent it.
Yeah, and B, so with that in mind, a couple key injuries thin it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, Eddie's doing his best.
Yeah, I fully expect them to thump Chelsea.
Yeah, they're a more put together team than Chelsea for sure.
Yeah. They're in a better place morale wise right now too.
Yeah. And with some key players coming back, yeah, they should be able to put Chelsea down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's I think that's enough for future games.
Yeah.
Should we chat Pogba a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about Pogba.
Pogba had been facing charges from the outcome of a positive doping test. And, he's facing a 4-year ban, it turns out, which effectively will end his career at the top level.
Yeah, he's pretty much done at that point.
Yeah.
He might as well retire.
Right? It's weird to have a take so in common with Graham Souness, but I like to think our motivations are a little different.
Right.
But, I was that guy too. Obviously, I like to shit on United all the time, but Pogba really did seem poisonous from just about the day he landed. Watching him from afar at Juve, I thought he was so cool. You see the elegant touches, the highlights. He's insanely handsome.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the build. He looks like a superstar through and through. Yeah. This guy's fucking awesome. Honestly, as soon as he came to the Premier League, I was like, wait a minute. He's being kind of lazy in this match. Like, when he loses the ball, he does not chase after it.
No.
That's where it started, on the pitch.
Yeah.
And then his little comments start coming out, sniping about this and that. And I was like, this guy's a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
He's fully a bitch.
Yeah, he's a superstar who doesn't want to work for being a superstar.
He pretty much fully went on strike to get Mourinho out of the club.
Yep.
Say
what you will about Mourinho. But.
Yeah, and that whole situation, yeah. But there's no doubt in my mind that Pogba was the cancer in that dressing room. It was widely reported on. There were cliques of players rallying around him, some around Mourinho, yada, yada.
Yep.
But he all but forced Mourinho out.
He made it too much of a mess.
Yeah.
Refused to play.
Yeah. And then he turned it on. Remember how shamelessly he turned it on when Ole... Dude, that's how Ole took the wheel, man. Pogba became
the player
dude.
He could be. Everyone knew he can be when
for
he decided to play.
He was insane.
Yeah.
But then he was like, all right.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I got some new sponsorships.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
that was
blah.
enough highlight reel for me to get through for a little while.
Haircut.
I'll be fine.
And he became a piece of shit. And he went, they shipped him back out. And I'm not going to go through the whole detailed history.
Yeah.
He's been in and out of the team at Juve with injuries. I think he signed and then was out for like 6 months with an injury.
I was going to say, I haven't even seen a clip of him
have
playing
his
a
way
match.
back in. And now the drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's acting shocked about it. He was fighting to come back from injury. It's understandable, I guess, that he might have taken a little something.
Yeah.
If you want to be empathetic to the human side of it.
Yeah, if he's just trying to get back on the pitch, you feel for him.
Yeah. Yeah. But
and you never know the true story of like what he was given by who, and these guys don't know what they're taking.
No.
That's the other thing you have to think about is like these poor athletes have no idea what these doctors are giving them.
No,
half the time.
Yeah, to that point, I'd rewind to when I said on the overlap that Neville and Keane were accusing the Italians in the early 2000s of doping.
Yeah.
They were, with that caveat, they were saying that these guys have no idea what they're taking. A doctor says take this, and they take it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
In places like that, at top level sport,
mm-hmm.
They don't ask questions in places like that.
I feel like, yeah. You've really got to trust your club.
Yeah. For sure.
And if you don't, employ your own doctor on the side to test all that shit.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, Pogba's 30 years old. 4-year ban. You might see him do a stint in the MLS.
Yeah,
but no, 4 years without playing, he's not going to be fit.
for him, if he, with his work ethic, it'd be a long shot.
Yeah.
He's better off like retiring and trying to get some kind of like punditry or fashion.
Was just gonna wonder, what media job is he gonna take?
He's a very smooth man.
Honestly, Paul, just model. You're so handsome.
I was gonna say he's a super handsome, smooth guy.
Yeah, you've got a frame that suit will just hang on.
Yeah, he can definitely do that for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's obviously gonna appeal it.
Best of luck.
Maybe
Paul.
it'll get shortened.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be only 2 years or something, and he can come back.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't want to, like revel in his destruction or anything like that.
No.
I think he's a dickhead, and
it was enjoyable to watch him be a dickhead at United. I enjoyed that time.
But when they sold him, that was so disappointing.
It was tragic. Yeah.
The only thing sadder was when they got rid of Ronaldo the second time.
Oh, I know.
Because that was the only thing that was even more cancerous.
I was gonna say
Pogba.
that's the worst. Pogba. Don't worry, you're not that bad.
No, he's not. He's
not that bad.
No, pour one out for the good old days of Paul Pogba.
Pogba in his prime.
What could have been? Well, Alex, should we wrap it up with that?
Yeah, let's wrap it up there. That's a nice little story.
I was going to say on that dour note of a life
of Paul Pogba's career, lived. What could have been.
He's living his best life.
He's still had a good career. Let's be real.
Yeah. He's not jealous of us.
No,
podcasting for an audience of 3. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Later, y'all.
Soccer situation.